There's nothing like that very first sip of coffee in the morning, don't you think? This is my second cup and it still tastes just as good. Well, I wanted to start my coffee walk out inside this morning because I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on my tomato for the Tomato Grow Off 2019. Now, if this is the first time you're hearing about this contest, it is a ton of fun. Gary from The Rusted Garden, myself, and Jess from Roots and Refuge YouTube channel are competing to see who can grow the biggest tomato and the tomato for the most production. And what's super exciting, as you as a viewer also have a chance to enter the contest, check out the rules over at the Gardening Coast to Coast Facebook page. I've seen a lot of your posts and I know that the competition is gonna be stiff, but a lot of fun. I'm telling you guys, your tomatoes are looking good. Well, let's go take a look at the tomato I'm growing. I started it from seed. I'm growing it indoors for now. We'll be transplanting it outside, hopefully in just a couple of weeks. So let's go check it out. Hey Mac, can you help me with the tomatoes today? So here's my little grow light closet under my stairs. You guys might remember the video I did several years ago on how I built this. I really do like to grow some warm weather vegetables in here because it stays nice and toasty. So I've got my tomato here growing, and what I did with these tomatoes is I really wanted to get them off to a fast start is I put them on a heat mat. And tomatoes will definitely germinate well without a heat mat, but I wanted to get them going in a hurry because I need some big tomatoes for the contest. And please excuse the mess in here, guys. We use this for kind of a catch-all closet. Up on top here, there's some basil and herbs that I started on the herb garden video a couple of weeks ago, and I just started some new flowers. I think those are zinnias right back there. So let me grab my tomato and head outside. I am pretty sure, yes, it does need some watering. So let me just kind of share with you what I do to water my tomato seedlings. Well, I started these seedlings indoors on April 21st, and today is May the 15th. So they've been going almost a month. Now, a viewer actually suggested to me that I also grow some outside. So these have been growing indoors, and these seedlings right here were started at the same time on the last tomato grow off video, and I've just let them grow outside. So you definitely can start tomato seeds without grow lights. They've just been sitting here on my deck, and on cold nights I've been bringing them inside. So you can see the difference in the growth. There's one that germinated maybe a week and a half ago, and there's a little teeny tiny seedling here just coming up. So I thought it would be kind of fun to see the difference. So what I'm doing as far as watering is I like to water my pellets when the top of the soil starts to get a little bit lighter brown. And I've been fertilizing them about once a week or so. And when you're fertilizing seedlings, you really want to do a very mild, slow and steady growth. So what I've been doing is using the Vermistera worm tea and the Good Dirt plant food, which has a higher nitrogen level, so that you get the good leafy growth that you want on your tomato plants. But you want to do it at half strength to quarter strength. You definitely do not want to overdo it. So I always like to water my seedlings from the bottom. So I've already got the fertilizer here in this watering can. I'm just going to pour it in the tray and let the pellets soak it up. Now, if you've never grown in peat pellets, it's a super easy way to start seeds. I really like these because they're larger. They're about 3 inches, and I'll put a link in the video description on where you can get these. So that way, the tomatoes can grow in here for about 6 weeks before you put them outside. So that way it avoids you having to transplant them into larger containers before you put them out in the garden. So we're just going to let these sit here and soak up the water, and I'm going to go and show you my second tomato plant that I have for the grow off in the garden. Well, it's another cloudy, cool day here. We've had so many clouds and not much sunshine, so I'm really hoping we get some more sunny days because I need that sunshine for my tomato to grow. Now, I misunderstood the rules at first. I thought that Gary and Jess and I were growing one tomato plant, both for size and for production. When I clarified with Gary, he said we were supposed to be growing 2 tomato plants. 1 tomato plant for size and 1 tomato plant for production. So what I decided to do was to grow a yellow Brandywine tomato. Now you guys might remember in the contest from last year, I actually harvested a yellow Brandywine at the very end. It wasn't the beefsteak tomato for the contest, but it grew, I think maybe a 1 or 2 pound tomato. So I decided to use that tomato plant or that variety of tomato for the contest again this year. And I just noticed here as I was walking by these little bees having a lot of fun on this poppy. That's why I love my coffee walks, because it's so much fun just to walk around and see all the life that is going on in the garden. So I guess Mac is guarding the tomatoes to make sure nothing happens to it. Well, the yellow brandywine is an heirloom tomato, a really wonderful bright yellow variety. It is so pretty. I absolutely loved it last year. And I planted this one from seed on March the 29th, put it out here in the garden on April the 25th, so it's been in here for just a couple of weeks now. Seeing some really nice new green growth on it. I did put compost in and worm castings and fertilize with worm tea when I planted it. So we just need some more sunshine. It's going to really start to take off. Now I am caging it with the Vertex tomato cage from Gardener's Supply. You guys might have seen that in my garden tour video over the weekend. It's a really nice sturdy cage, a great option if you're looking for a pre-purchased cage. And it does kind of sway and give a little bit in the wind. Now last year I had problems with my tomato cage toppling over with the yellow brandywine, so I'm really confident that the Vertex cage will be the right tomato cage to hold up my winning tomato here. So I'll pop a link in the video description if you're interested in picking up a Vertex tomato cage, and I will definitely be coming back to give you updates as my tomato grows. Now I'm not going to go crazy with this plant and fertilize it. I don't want to overdo it. I'll probably be giving it fertilizer about once a month or so and just keeping an eye on it. So stay tuned for updates. So just to clarify, I'll be growing the yellow brandywine behind me here for size for the contest, and the red beefsteak seedling I showed you at the beginning of the video for overall production. And we will be planting out that seedling in the garden very soon. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos. And also make sure to check out Gary and Jess's channel. I'll link everything in the video description below. And make sure you head over to Gardening Coast to Coast to check out the rules for the Tomato Grow Off 2019. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, I think Mac and I are just going to chill out here in the garden for a little bit before we start our day. And oh, if you need tomato seeds for the contest, head to my website. I've got a tomato seed collection with that beefsteak tomato winner that I'm growing, and I'd love for you to grow along with me. Thanks so much for joining me on today's Coffee Walk, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Ah, it tastes so good, doesn't it, Mac? Want some?